Hey everybody, welcome to the Salesforce Club here on March 14th. We got a lot to do tonight, a lot of fun things to get through, so let's get started. First, we're going to talk to Nick Zinzer and Renee and see what they do at Salesforce.
My name is Catherine Herzog. I'm the account executive for University of Kentucky and work very closely with Christine and the entire UK Salesforce team, as well as the executive leadership team at UK. And it has been an amazing partnership since I took over the account about almost a year and a half ago. But Salesforce has been partners with University of Kentucky for almost 4 years now, and so much has changed, especially over the past year with the pandemic. Most of you are probably familiar with the work.com structure and in partnership that we entered into with UK. What was it? Probably June 2020 to help reopen campus safely. So it's been a really long journey, but you all make it a success and having those strong connections and ties with Salesforce in kind of creating the next kind of future force of Salesforce. So huge thank you to all of you that take your time on Sundays and every other day of the week to learn more about our organization. Before we get started with introductions, one thing I really wanted to start with is better understanding the mission of the Salesforce.
One question I had was, how big was like the learning curve from when you guys, like Nick, you said you worked for higher ed. How big was the learning curve from that to joining Salesforce?
That's a great question, Cooper. And I'm going to date myself by saying that I've been around the Salesforce ecosystem now for about 15 years. And in that time, I've had opportunity to do a lot of different types of learning. I think from the point I got serious about it it was probably about 5 years of dedicated study while working full time. I had the job. I had a newborn kid at that point, but was just starting out to learn. Going to as many the free Salesforce events like the World Tours, things like that. These were all in the days before Trailhead, so keep in mind I've been around for a little bit. So it's definitely something to study for. But did one of the Trailhead certification courses, the one that's kind of the basic Salesforce administrator one, and then just kind of kept studying and learning from there. Any opportunity you have to attend an event that focuses on kind of the technical aspect, whether it's something like Trailhead DX or Dream TX that we held last December. These are great opportunities just to kind of pick up and absorb the different ways of doing it. But you can definitely do it a lot faster than I did back when we were still focused on the pre-Trailhead days.
Sweet, thank you.
I also have a question, and this is just for all three of you guys, honestly. Are there certain things in Trailhead or just things about Salesforce in general that, like above all else, our students should focus on kind of getting a grasp of in the Salesforce ecosystem for the future?
That's a fantastic question. So fantastic that I'm going to punt it over to Nick.
Yeah, it's funny, as Catherine was talking about what the career possibilities were, Evan, I was thinking, I was on a call late Friday with one of our biggest consulting partners, and their global head of Salesforce is saying, we can't find enough people to do the work that we need them to do. There is incredible demand, and I'm not just saying that to toot my own horn here. I mean, this is there's an acute need for Salesforce specialists to do consulting and implementation work. If there's a particular focus, that I think you should take, do as many of the Trailhead trails as you have time and feel comfortable with, but work towards something that has a broad knowledge set. And if you're thinking about the certification path, I would definitely say work your way up towards the Salesforce administrator certification, and then aim to get one of the consultant ones afterwards. And then that gives you a bit of product specialization. So, Service Cloud is a huge component of everything that we do at Salesforce. Getting a Service Cloud consultant certification would be, I won't guarantee, give me a forward-looking statement on this one, but it would be pretty close to a golden ticket in terms of employability going forward.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And I saw Charles put a question in here. He's currently talking to Deloitte and Accenture for interviews and strategy consulting. Any advice to leveraging Salesforce experience to look impressive? Well, number one, huge congrats that you already got an interview, right? I mean, that means that your resume was impressive enough to bring you in. I have a couple of thoughts, and actually I'm brainstorming on the side with Christine about potential kind of resume builder, interview sessions, etc. I'll share what came top of mind for me, and then I can have Renee and Nick chime in as well. But I would say when you're preparing for the interview, do some homework in terms of Deloitte and or Accenture Salesforce partnerships, being able to kind of spin up a story of saying, hey, I know that, trying to throw out a company here, IBM or big Marriott hotel chain, and you worked with Salesforce, you know that story and what made them successful in that partnership. So I would do some digging and we're more than happy to kind of help you with that as well, but do some digging in terms of some real use cases. Number one, you'll learn a lot by doing it. Number two, you'll show them that you put the time and effort to understand their business and what some of their successes have been. Renee, Nick, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very valuable advice, Catherine. I think, too, if you can just find some information, use cases. Like Salesforce is huge on storytelling. like when I used my my examples to give you guys an example of partners, I think Deloitte and Accenture the same. Like if you can actually go in and share a story that maybe you are aware of and that you know, to apply it to, you know, maybe the vertical that you're interviewing for with Deloitte and Accenture, whether it's, you know, FinServ or manufacturing or education. But, you know, diving into and getting that knowledge and expertise, just, you know, to really show that you've done your research, I think would be very, very valuable.
Nick, you're on mute.
There's always one, right? Renee's spot on with that advice in the sense that know kind of where know your audience, who's interviewing you, what's the focus, are you leaning towards a particular vertical, things like that. I will say at the very large shops, they do tend to keep the Salesforce and the strategy folks separate in different groups, and there might not be as much opportunity for kind of crossover there, but that's not to say that having it on your resume and finding, as Catherine and Renee were pointing out, a really good kind of success story to talk about the need behind it, it would definitely be a positive step forward there.
Right. One of the things I like to add to everybody, if they're not aware, is that our CEO, Nick, who couldn't be with us tonight, he's actually going to Frito-Lay in a sales position. They use Salesforce as their sales platform. And then our lead developer, Miss Jody, she's going to Deloitte. So congratulations, Jody.
That's great.
That's fantastic. And I will say, you know, for anybody on here, anybody on here who's not, you know, following a traditional, you know, path towards consulting, or maybe is, you know, a coder, a developer on the side who's interested in starting a product company or joining a product company, like what Renee was describing, your path can take you a lot of different places. And so don't be afraid to jump in. Charles is talking to Deloitte and Accenture today about strategy consulting, and all of a sudden they pick up on the Trailhead piece and it pivots to a Salesforce-oriented role. Roll with it. I did not set out to be a partner account manager with Salesforce. I can guarantee you that. In fact, 25 odd years ago, as I was a fresh-faced undergraduate, I was a film major, and I'm supposed to be back home in LA directing movies at this point. But now I'm in technology and having the time of my life. So don't be afraid to take that leap.
You know, Nick won't say this, but he's famous at Salesforce. So You still have your fame. You still have the fame that Hollywood can offer. So.
I do. Yes. No. You can have different types of fame, but I don't need to have the director's chair in order to have that. So thank you, Catherine. You're gonna make me blush on camera. Thanks.
I think the real key here is, I mean, just the mere fact that you all are getting interviews with Frito-Lay, Deloitte, Accenture. You have no idea how powerful that is. Those students, your colleagues, your friends, your peers that are maybe not in this club, they're not going to have the same opportunities and doors open by being able to put some of this on your resume. So now it's just a matter of finding a way to take what's on your resume in paper and writing and being able to tell a story when you're in the interview. And Nick or Renee, one of you had mentioned, it's all about the story. You know, it's truly all about the story.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I'd like to add too, I think somebody asked about, you know, like, are there certain certifications or certain trailheads that you should take? You know, if you hone in on like Catherine's in sales, all three of us kind of come from a sales background. But if you're more of a developer or if you're more of a techie, there are certain trailheads, and you can actually, I think if you do a search, it will detail specific trail paths for you to take, specific modules for you to take, you know, dependent upon the kind of your area of interest or area of expertise. So I would definitely look into that and suggest going that route, whatever your area of interest is. But also, as Nick said and Catherine said, you know, be flexible. I don't think any of us, 15, 20 years ago thought that we would be sitting here in this role either. So, everyone's on their own journey, and it's going to look unique for every one of you.
I want to say thank you to all of you and to the guests that are with us this evening, because we've had a lot of extra people log on tonight with us as well. So it's been exciting. It's been educational. I have lots of notes to share with the club as we move forward. But the club does have a short little meeting that we have with our own members coming up right after you guys. So thank you to everybody. And feel free to log off, because I'm going to let Cooper take over and take our meeting forward for the rest of the evening. So thank you, Nick, Renee, Catherine. I really appreciate all your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye.